Okay, good morning, everyone. K6ST here at the front of the helm. People are eating here at the restaurant, and so thank you for being here. Thank you for being on Zoom today. And Barry K6ST, the president, and this is the June meeting, June 1st. Welcome, everyone. And so before we start, this is on the website. This is the main field day site. And W7DB will tell you more about it on the presentation portion. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Bring the slides up. What a goofball I am. Let's get those going, huh? Okay. You want to, real quick, do you want to do the? Sure. Yeah, okay. We're going to start off as I get the slides up. Jim W6US has some really cool things. You want the mic?
No. You all hear me in the back?
Yep. Okay. We'll start with Jim W6US for some announcements or some awards. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay. As most of you know, we had the Vaticuso party, and we had a pretty good turnout. Still can use a award. A lot of folks that showed up in other people's logs, didn't send in a log. Yeah, it makes it a little tougher on scoring, but it still works. I've got the plaques finally made. Everything came together, and so we'll start handing some out. First one here, the single lot, high power mixed, and here in Nevada, and it goes to our president. He's using the call sign W7TR. There you
W7TR. Thank you so much. Thank you for this beautiful. I'll show it up on the Zoom. And I'm just going to, after you announce each person, I'm just going to say it on the mic so the people on Zoom can hear it. Okay, thank you so much, Jim.
Okay, the other one here, this fellow, perennial black runner, and does a tremendous job on CW getting the word out. Yes, there are operators in Nevada. And it's WB2 AWQ, whoever he is.
AWB2 AWQ, whoever it is. I think it's Howie. Congratulations, Howie, on CW.
Our newsletter editor. And did very, very well. Thank you. Let's see. Tyler isn't here, but Tyler went up and played around up at Tom's place up on the hill, and he got the highest score of anybody in the continent.
Wow.
And of course, something about a kilowatt and a half, and multiple antennas on all bands. He had a score of 787, 155 points. That is considerably higher than anybody else.
So that's Tyler K7 TDM.
Beat the hell out of me. And he was just on the phone and operating on the call sign W7RD. I'm gonna hand this one out down in Minden because the guy's down there with a table full of goodies. And W7ASY, he just inched me out in this class. So that was very good. He had a score of 135, 408. It's a pretty good score.
Okay. And who was that again? What was the call?
W7ASY.
W7ASY and down towards Minden. Thank you.
And K7KBH, are you here?
KBH is here today. Ken? Nope.
K7KBH, nope. He had the county line, low power phone, with 4,728 points. And that was a pretty good score. We didn't have as much county line participation this year as possible. We still have a couple that didn't get handed out, they're waiting on people. W4FLL, you here?
W4FL, it's Tom.
He's not here. Nope. Uh, 187 TX Dave, are you here? No.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
These are from 2022.
Okay.
KK7 BWJ.
AK7 BWJ in 2022, not yet.
Yeah. Well, I got emails for this. No. N7 XCZ.
7XCZ.
Well, it still didn't show up. Okay, well, that's, well, I've got a quick report on the 7QP. We had pretty good, Nevada work. We just, again, didn't have logs. There were 30 some odd operators out of Las Vegas. Not a single log.
Wow. Better talk to Tony about that to get on those Las Vegas people.
Yeah, getting on them too. But, we did pretty good. We had 8 out of 16 here in Washoe County, turned in logs. Come on, folks, turn in logs.
Okay, let's do a round of applause for everybody on the, thank you. And a special thanks to Jim Shepard. Is this correct? You make those at home on your system, however, on your system? So thank you, Jim, for that. Okay, appreciate it. Now, on our business meeting, we have money. Do you want to say anything in particular, Mr. Treasurer, or just? It's all
Well,
good.
now that Pat said that, no, we're doing well. We've got, memberships rolling in. Financials are looking good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, we have a question.
Yes, Mr. Howard.
Years ago, the club set a policy that, the bank accounts, the information would be provided to various board members so that one person didn't simply control all of the money. Has that been adhered to or not,
Absolutely, just N7ROJ, one of the board members for quite a long time now.
That's.
At every single meeting, our treasurer, Mr. Bill, and then now Doug hands out the financials and the reports of the bank accounts. And not only do we all have to read it, we all initial that we read it. So it's checked, it's checked every way, and anybody who's ever come to the meeting as a visitor, we offer them to look at them as well. Yeah, they're completely open, and I mean, he can answer this from a financial standpoint, but as a board member, I can tell you that absolutely every board of directors meeting, we all look at the logs and sign them.
Okay,
Long
great,
time, years.
great question, and thank you for that, Howie. Okay, moving on. We have a whole lot of members. It went up from 410 to 419, which is great, and that includes some new members. There's some honorary members that are new hams and others. And 45, we increased to one new BE examiner, and this information is on the SNARS website live.
Barry,
Yes,
is there
yes.
a list of BE examiners on?
Now, that's a great question. Anybody know the answer to that? Is there a list of BE examiners on the website?
I think it's actually, if you go to the list, it shows if they're VE or not. I know Crystal now has an accurate list.
Okay, let's, I'll tell you, I'll get back to you on that one. We'll look it up. It's a good question. Okay, so this weekend, starting yesterday, how do you like it? This weekend starting yesterday, the museum ships on the air. It's a 48-hour event. It's not a contest, and it's all these different ships around the world. A lot of them in the U.S. and Canada. A lot of battleships, carriers, USS Pompanito in San Francisco, a submarine, and all sorts of ones. As of yesterday, there was like 107, I think, on their website. So it'd be fun. Get on. It's all mode, all band, any band. It's not a contest. They said they'll be operating in the general portion. So it's a lot of fun. I had it. Yes, sir.
Are you operating this year?
Yes, but not from one of those big places.
Oh,
I
man.
know. I wanted to go down to, what's the name of the, yeah. I'll answer that. One second. Yeah, go ahead, Howard.
Barry, years ago, well, about the long, back in New Jersey, we did work at the USS Lake for 10 years.
Wow, how'd you like it?
And we operated museum ships many, many times. That's a great output.
Wow, it's very fun. I'm going to work a bunch of them. And just on a side note, one of the big carriers down in Alameda, Oakland, California, in the Bay Area is the USS Hornet. I got to meet the fellow who was the president. He gave a presentation via Zoom about a year and a half or 2 years ago. So I keep wanting to get a group to go down there. Not necessarily museum ships on the air, but if we put something together some weekend, because some people still work, not everybody. And we went down there and we spent maybe some time there. And if it works, maybe go to a ball game if you wanted. Just show of hands, how many people might be interested in it? Okay, like 6, 8, 10. Yeah, it's about right. We had the option, you're going to love this, of sleeping aboard. I don't know if any of us young people would go, heck no. But maybe we can, no way. Yeah, you did it for 10 years. Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, so when my kids were young, we did a Cub Scout trip to the Hornet, and we did sleep on board.
How's your back?
Back is fine, but the ghosts are interesting.
Oh, really?
But the funny thing about that is they gave us a more in-depth tour and put me
Yeah.
down one of the engine rooms.
Yeah.
And the guy was explaining some things, and I started correcting because I know a lot about engine rooms, being a merchant mariner. But yeah, it was a fun trip, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I have operated out of the radio room, and I have helped them do testing down there. So yeah, if you get a chance and you want to go, it's well worth the trip.
The reason thank you. The reason I think we should maybe do it as a group is because it's not like you're driving down the block. It's 4.5 hours down. The fellow that I ran into on the air, we've gotten to know each other. It's Greg. I can't think of his call sign. Nice guy. He works for Alinco or whoever the company is. But he's really super nice. He took me on, both times I was there, he took me on a whole bunch of extra tours. So we'll look at putting that together sometime and see. I talked both last year and this year, I talked about doing it during museum ships on the air. The only thing is they have a club and they said we could come down and do it. It's just pretty darn busy during that. The times I've been down there, which happened to be both this last year and the year before, was the Friday after Thanksgiving. So I happen to be in the Bay Area seeing family, and it's just fun to get on there. You see cool stuff. There's cool pictures. There's some tours. When you're up on deck, you can see San Francisco is quite amazing. I have some pictures of that. But the most fun is when you get on the air and you say, "I'm on the USS Hornet," and they look at you. They look at you through the microphone or the key or the FT8, like, wow, that's special. And you get some cool stuff. So we'll look at putting that. If you have a chance, get on the air today and tomorrow for museum ships in the air. Okay, Jim mentioned the swap. There is N7RCA swap today. It started at 7 a.m. and goes to 12, they say. It's down in Minden. All I can tell you is if you want to know, go to n7rca.com. You can go get directions. Jim, I think, is going later to do that. Also, this weekend is the ARRL digital contest. It starts today at 11 o'clock our time and goes to 4:59, almost 5 o'clock tomorrow. It's all digital with no RIDI, even though RIDI is digital. So what they're basically saying is a lot of FT to FT4, maybe some PSK31. So if you want to get on, that'd be a good way to do it. And I think a lot of people know, and I know Jim writes about it in his sections in the newsletter, there is something called Contest Calendar. Google Contest Calendar, and the person, Bruce Horn, that puts it together has tons of stuff on there. You might not have museum ships weekend because it's not a contest, it's an event. But if you ever want to know, what's going on, check it out there. Okay, June VHF contest. And I got some, let me move this away here on our end. June VHF contest is not this weekend, but next weekend. It's the 8th, it says the 8th through the 10th, so let's convert it to local time. It's 11 o'clock on Saturday, next Saturday, to 8 p.m. Sunday, which translates to 0300 on Monday. And it's really fun. You get on, you can go CW, you can do phone, you can also do FT8. There's a lot of FT8. You put it in a certain mode. And there's all these grid squares around the country. I think Jim mentioned it yesterday on the new net. We're in DMO9. And if you go up to on the California area, up to Truckee or Sierra County or any of that, that's CN99. If you go south to Minimus DO8, so there's all these grid squares around the country. And the cool thing is the June VHF contest, they have a January, June, and September by ARRL. It's the most active. So you could do it on Simplex. You can take your HT or your FM radio. I think, is this correct? They allow the Simplex calling frequency now. Yeah, they didn't used to. So you can get on 146.5 too. And my experience is that 6 meters, when it's open, is the most active. Just depends. Then the next one is 2 meters, then 440, then 220 and above. But it's a lot of fun to get on for a few minutes, get on for an hour. I may be going out with a friend of mine out hither and yon. We're looking at some sites now and just going and operating. So check it out next weekend. No repeaters, by the way. Okay, so now we have a Kids Day. The third weekend in June is Kids Day. And the idea is it's designed around promoting imagery with kids and maybe having them be able to learn enough and eventually get on air. This year, we're not doing an event as the club, just too many things going on Field Day coming up the weekend after. But if you'd like to get on the air and promote them and talk to them, it's really, really cool. I've done some informal surveys, and what I found out is that when I asked people over the years, like, what got you into ham radio? A super large percentage will say, when I was a younger person, a kid or a young adult or whatever, I had this experience. I went somewhere, I went to a field day, Uncle John had a thing, whoever. And so that earlier dropping of a seed really gets people going. So let's support the kids. And hopefully we'll have some kids at Field Day. We're going to be talking about that in a little bit. Okay, Field Day, we're going to be talking about that as our main presentation. It's for SNARS, it's the 21st to the 23rd. So put it on your calendar. The event itself is 24 hours from Saturday the 22nd to Sunday the 23rd. And we'll be talking in great detail with Doug in a few minutes. You can go to snars.org. You can pull down the activity tab and see Field Day. There's a this big banner on the website. You click on it. And that's how you get to it. The registration is open. Okay, thank you, Jim, for doing that on the awards. Let's see. We have for comments, and I know that Robin has one. Robin, when you have a minute, can you come up here and come to the mic? And she wanted a little help moving some antenna or something, and it's a great time to ask. So let's just have you explain what it is and tell them what part of town you're in.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Hi. I have an antenna, a 33-foot comet antenna on the side of the fence that I need to move to the other side of my house. And I want to attach it to a telescopic light pole. And then I need it to run the coax into the upstairs bedroom window. I have a 76-year-old husband who won't do ladders and can't move it. So I need some help. We're willing to pay. I probably need some young people. If you know any, if you have young sons or nephews or anybody who'd like to earn some extra money, I think they could handle doing that. I'll put up a phone number right now. It's 775-250-3359. I live in the northwest part of Reno. I live up off of McCarran, up in the northwest. Okay, so if anybody, would you see me after the meeting and would like to get that poll moved so I can get on the air? Okay, thanks.
Okay, and that's Robin KF7VBE. So get hold of her. That would be great. I love it. People helping people. Thank you, Robin. Any other comments? Oh, Jim. Jim's got a comment. Oh, yeah, I know what it is. Come on up here.
Okay, there's probably more text there.
I'll go 10 meters.
We're probably a little shy on technicians here in the room. However, I will be up at Taylor Park. It's up northwest of here, a couple of blocks, kind of behind the rec center up there. And we'll be on the west side of the park. And we'll be running 10 meters with the club gear and demonstrate how to use it. We'll get people who are interested in checking out. We'll be able to check them out on how to use it properly. And hopefully we'll get a little bit of 10-meter activity. They can make a couple of contacts on that. It was just starting to pick up this morning when I left the house. So hopefully we're not going to hit the CME or something like that. But anyway, that'll be immediately following. I'll head right up there and set up. So also, I'd like to get a couple other operators, the beat control operators, to be able to help out with this sort of thing in the future. And so if you're interested in helping out with this sort of program, getting the folks on the air, especially on 10 meters, I would definitely appreciate it if you show up. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Jim. So Jim took it upon himself to start this program, which is go out in the field after a meeting and learn about how to get on 10 meters. So take them up on it. Any other comments here in the restaurant for SNARS? Okay, let's see if there's any over yonder in the other area. So we got to figure out how to get you guys unmuted. Why don't you do this? If there's anybody on Zoom that has a question, raise your hand. It's under reactions, or put it into the chat. Okay, not seeing any right now. Thank you. If you have any questions for SNARS, you can always email snars@snars.org. Whether it's about membership, whether it's about the radio help, we have special options for using the repeater for special events like they did yesterday. And we're happy to help. I just want to do a 30-second plug for Steve, KS6A. He and Robin, KS7VBE, I hope I got it right, helped to put on the 50-50 race the weekend a few weeks ago. It was the weekend that we had the picnic. And I was just talking to them. They didn't have enough hams. Some of them have passed away. Some of them moved. A lot of them couldn't make it because of the picnic. And so they did a hybrid between some ham radios, a backup, and GRMS. And we were just talking a few minutes ago, and he said, as a result of the GRMS, and some people getting on the radio, and they had some radios and some licenses, and they had GRMS repeaters, similar but different to ham. I think he said there was 3 people that would like to get their ham license. So is that an interesting thing? Helping a group, helping with GRMS, which is non-ham, and then later they go, I want to become a ham. So thank you. Okay, I'm not seeing any other things. So let's go to our sponsors, DX Engineering here in Sparks. You can order it online, go and pick it up in some of them all. Hammond Hi-Fi here in Reno, and Chameleon, great to support our local vendors. We got 3 nets, regular nets. You all probably know about the SNARS new net. It's a lot of people ask, is it connected on a wide area system like beyond Reno, like if you're in the Bay Area or you're out in Wisconsin? The answer is no. It's just linked together on the 6 repeaters, although it has a big footprint. So that's Monday through Friday, rather, at noon. The SNARS Digital Net is 8 p.m. on Tuesday night. It's on DMR and on Fusion. So come on to there. And then Wednesday night, there's the D-Star Net on the 440 system. One quick question, a show of hands. How many people would be interested in some sort of training? I'll ask 3 different questions. The first one is around the analog system. In other words, what it looks like, how things are connected, how you can use them as a user. How many people would like that? Okay, we got maybe 4 on here. Okay, different question. How many people would like to know about digital? Now, more specifically, I'm asking DMR and Fusion. Okay, a bunch. And then the last question is, how many would be interested in having a training or something around D-Star? Maybe 1. Okay, I know D-Star is less, 2, 3. Okay. I think we're going to get together when Tony's up here sometime and figure out a time to do, maybe they'll be back to back, maybe they'll be different months, I don't know. So we can have people learn about that. Thank you so much. And the next thing we're going to go to is the SNARS Planning for Field Day. So I'm going to leave the recording up because we're just kind of going from the business meeting onto the presentation. So let me hand it over to Doug, W7DBE. And Doug, if you need to go over to the website, it's right there. Okay. You know how to do this Alt-Tab thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is Doug, W7DBE, about fielding.
All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody online. Every year we do field day, and every year we have a lot of fun. So this year, June 21, 22, 23, we'll be setting up Friday around about noon time. We are in the same place. It's the Equestrian Center. It's a little bit away from the hill, so we have a little better coverage from the radio, not just north and south through the valley. It's a great area. Hopefully everybody can come out and have some fun. So here's the map. And by the way, if you're not going to be in town, or if you're going to be somewhere else, or if you can only play a little bit on the radio, that's fine. ARRL has a field day locator. So if you're traveling and you want to see if another club has a field day group going, you can check that out. Our schedule, again, Saturday, we're going to do the big lunch, SNARS sponsored lunch, and hopefully we will be doing a sous vide tri-tip, and I got a big nod of agreement from Mr. Byerly. Thank you, John, for that. We'll do New Ham orientation in the afternoon. Thank you, Kurt, for doing that. We will have we've decided on 2 raffles. We'll have a main raffle, just like here, but we'll have different prizes. And then we're going to have a new hams raffle, and probably give away a radio or 2 for the new hams. So please join us. Come down and have some fun. Bring your gear, operate. We'll help coordinate, band use so we don't get stomping all over each other. Let others operate and learn. If we have members of the public or we have the kids coming down, let them get on the radio. Let them learn a little bit. Let them make some contacts, have some fun. Okay, and then of course the sponsored lunch. I'll repeat that. We do have a field day planning team. Barry, myself, John Byerly, Kurt over here, KB7QOD, and Derek, W7DLZ. Derek's probably hiking a mountain this morning, I was thinking. Oh, there he is. God, I didn't sorry, Derek. After this, you're going to hike a mountain. All right. Well, so we can also use some help. When we do setup, and I think we're covered, but you know, the more the merrier. We need at least 3 pickup trucks to pick up gear at the shed. You know, there's a lot of stuff and it wouldn't be nice to make somebody do a couple trips back and forth to the shed. It's a long way. The other thing where we can use a lot of help is, you know, manning the booth. I know in the past, you know, give a Chuck of the man the booth, which is very nice. We need help, you know, cooking and cleanup, set up and tear down. So, you know, yeah, even if you can only come do a little bit, every little bit is helpful. You know, and that's how, you know, that's how we make these events work is with, you know, club volunteers and folks willing to come out and you know, lend a hand. And certainly lots of room to camp if you want to pull your RV down or your trailer. I've got what's called a tailgate tent now, so I'm gonna crash in my truck and have my gear next to my truck. So, you know, come down, have some fun, enjoy the day. You know, have a good lunch on Saturday. Again, we have some new equipment this year. It was a little bit of a interesting story because the U.S. Postal Service sent half my order all around the country before it showed up, but we bought some refurbished Dell laptops. Those have all now been loaded with software. I'm going to put the TimeSync software on them, get them updated, and those will be available. I bought a couple of nice gear bags for them, so we're not carting computers around in cardboard boxes. They also have solid state drives, and they're a lot lighter than the old computers we used to have. And we bought a brand new mesh system that Mr. Barley was kind enough to set up. And he was playing with it and said, you know, you could pretty much run Netflix across Reno, across the whole valley with this system. So we're going to have some good network coverage down there at the at Field Day this year. So again, registration is open. You can click the banner, click register. It's the same form as last year, basically. You know, we ask if you're coming down, you're going to be there for Saturday lunch or, you know, Friday dinner or Saturday dinner. Are you going to operate, et cetera, et cetera. So please, again, and come down and have a lot of fun. So that's it. I guess I'm not going to go to the websites because I don't think we need to, but the website's open and active. The registration link is open and active. And you know, again, come have some fun and join us.
Okay, thanks, Doug. I'll just do it for a quick time. We have plenty of time. On the website, if you go to snars.org and you click on this big banner, and save the date will be changed to please register soon. Just click on the banner, pretty simple. And like the sheet, the slide we just had, you just come onto this page, you can see all the information here. And then just click on attend to register to attend. And there's a form. And if you don't know for sure, like when you're going to be here, just put your best guess. And at the bottom here, there's always a place for comments. Let's see. Also, there's a lot of information on this page. There's field day information. There's gear. There's a flyer of what is field day, and the most recent one is the field day flyer. Has quite a bit about what field day is and what you can do. Now, how many people have ever done field day somewhere? Okay. How many have never done it? Okay. 1, 2. Wait, raise your hand again. 2. Okay. Okay. So come on down. It'll be a lot of fun, and we'll learn. So we're going to have some Elmers, or I think on the one of the sheets, I think we're calling them some sort of ambassadors. Help come. They'll show you around. You know, when people are operating, they'll explain what it is, and then when you're ready, we can have you call on the radio. You don't have to. You don't have to have a license, although we have a lot of hams here. It's going to be W7TA, which is the club call. We usually run on the 7A category. 7 means 7 transmitters, and A is
Emergency power.
yeah, emergency power. Jim usually runs FT8, so that's digital. somebody, hold on one second, somebody, no, hold on.
Derek will be running CW.
Yeah, Derek wrote a CW, and another gentleman checked in on the new net, said he was interested, and Mr. Dubay,
Or voice.
40 Voice. It's all the main bands. It's not the work bands. So it's
40 boys.
40 Voice. Very good. Very good. And he's smart. He's got a little a cooler next to him so he can get stuff going on there.
Keep geared up.
There. And then Howie's gonna talk about something cool here.
I was gonna say that, between the two sites that we've used for field day at Washoe Lake, we've used the main pavilion
Yeah, main
and
pavilion.
we've used the equestrian center. Between the two, I have preferred the equestrian center.
Absolutely.
Simply because it has a lot of trees.
There's a lot of trees. It actually has a better shot
And
going east.
And it's really important that we spread out.
Yeah, it has a lot more room. Yeah.
I can't operate field day this year because my wife needs me at home. But Ken and I have operated field day for many years with SNARS,
Yeah.
and the equestrian center is by far the best.
I know. Last year we did it for the first time in many years. We determined, John Barley agrees, and others, we determined it was better for many reasons. It was easier to spread out. It was a better location. It was easier to get the gear in and out of. We could drive right up to where the sleuthing is. And it's better for RF. I mean, you're not next to that hole as much. The other thing is when you're not operating, you're down there, go for a walk, go down to the lake or walk around or enjoy. Howie said something interesting, and that is he can't come. So he's going to be operating at home. And you can do it. You can operate at home. You can operate other places. A couple of years I couldn't make field day. And so one year I was going to go to a wedding that was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. So I went down on Friday, stayed with some friends in San Jose, actually took them with me and their kids. We went to a field day that was happening. I looked up on the field day locator, the ARRL field day locator, and found out where they are. So you can do that. Now I have a question for Jim. It used to be, and is it still true, that if you operate as part of, say, the group, W7TA, you can't go home and operate them again? Is that still true or not? Do you know?
Okay, on that, if you operate, that's part of W7TA, you go home, you can't actually make a contact with W7TA again. But you can contact the rest of the world and under your call sign, do that. That's a very important part of the role. Also, when you go to turn in your log, very coming back to logging.
Logging.
You can send in your log, and put Sierra Nevada ARS down at the club.
Sierra Nevada ARS is what you put in for the club, so the club gets credit.
The club will get credit, and all added together, all these outlying people that unfortunately couldn't make it down and enjoy it with us, but got on the air anyway to help out. All those scores are added together along with the main score. We come up with a club score. And,
Great.
it's broadcast out. Everyone can see that we were active.
Okay. Well, Howie, please.
One of the things that the ARRL has changed, they changed it a couple of years ago. It used to be that if you operated from home, where you would be a D class station, for example, you could not score other D class stations that you work. The ARRL has changed that where you can score everybody now from home.
Okay, that's really good. I just want to repeat it for on the mic and so they can hear on Zoom. Starting this year, I believe.
It started last year.
Oh, last year. Okay. If you're on a home station, which is a D class, it'd probably be 1D, probably. Unless you're two, or you 2D, yeah. If you have 2 transmitters and 2 people. It used to be that you could not operate, if you operated somebody else at a D, you wouldn't get credit. Now they open it up. What they're trying to do is make it easier for hams to talk to hams. There's also a whole piece, and you can look on the website, there's a whole piece around bonus. And the reason there's bonus points is a lot of this is not just operating and doing the emergency drill, but it's also how can we get the word out to the public? So there's bonus points for like if we get the information in a newspaper. It used to be that you had to submit it. Now it has to be printed or published somewhere. It doesn't have to always be a newspaper. If you have an elected official, if anybody knows an elected official of any organization that's probably a government elected official, let us know. We'd like to invite them down. A served agency. So a served agency would be Red Cross or other agencies like that. So there's all these bonus points, and part of it is around PR and getting the word out, and part of about how ham radio really helps, and part of it is around getting on the air. We'll have our blue pavilion tent there, and that's the booth, if you will. People come that are not hams, and they want to learn about it, and we'll have some handouts. We get bonus points for that too. So the bonus points are interesting. You get these bonus points for these different things. Often they're 100 points. 100 points for a booth, 100 points for a elected official, 100 points for a served agency. So they add up quickly because if I'm correct, help me with the scoring. Is it 1, 2, 3 points or 2, 3, 4 points for phone CW data?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2, 3, 4 plus times 100 watts times the times. So the point is we can get it out of the total score. We can get sometimes up to maybe half or more or a little less just by the bonus points. So that will be good. Any questions here in the restaurant about Field Day for Stars? Okay, anybody online, just type it into the chat. Okay, we'll be announcing it more on the NoonNet. You can go to the SNARS website. Oh, that's what I want to click on. I want to click on the actual form that got set up. Let's see where it is. Oh, I think we need to go to snars.org. Okay. Just got set up recently. Thanks to everybody who worked on it. Doug got the form up and going. So you click on the banner, you get to this information on the sheet. Has a lot of good information and some links and the times. And then you click plan, register to attend. And they want your name, your call sign. If you don't have one, you can put in none, your email address, your mobile number, and when you can help. The helping is the key because what do we have for lunch? About 40 or 50 people, something like that. Yeah, give or take 35 to 50 people. And we have dinner, and there's just all these different things, and they go in waves. So we'd like your help. And like Doug said, if you have a truck that will help. If you're going to bring equipment, and John Barley, I might need your help on this. You need them to bring something else, with their own antenna and something else. A radio with the mic or the cords. Your own computer would be great. If not, we have some.
No, we're only doing the club.
We're only doing the club computers. That's right. That's right. And there was one other thing they need to do. Well, we're going to provide juice. Oh, we're going to provide electricity with generators, right? What they do need is a power strip would be great. And you want to bring a power supply. You could use a battery. You want to bring a power supply, and you want to be sure that you can plug in, have Anderson power pole so we can plug in the back of the bandpass filter. John, please.
What he just said is make sure you bring a jumper. One of the things that we consistently run out of is USB cables, jumpers, and, barrel
Barrel
connectors.
connectors, and jumper being a coax jumper.
Coax jumper, so if you're gonna use one of the Dune Star filters
Yeah.
that belong to the club, the band pass filters, make sure that you bring some stuff for that, and they are powered. So you have to have something that accepts Anderson power poles. Because
Yeah.
all of my batteries I loaned out to run Dune Stars last year are gonna be running the Wi-Fi Max.
Yeah.
Shelter.
Shelter.
Shelter. Hold on to shelter for 1 second, and we'll come back to that. I just want to mention one thing about these Dune Stars filters. For those that may not know, when you have multiple stations on in a close proximity on different bands, they might interfere. So number one, the way you take care of it is you spread out. The other is you do a bandpass filter. So we have these really, I think they're pretty high-end bandpass filters. It's a
They're
block.
the best you can get.
Yeah, best you get. It's a block. And you take the antenna and you plug it in. And you take another jumper cable from the back and you bring it to your radio. And then you take Anderson power pole, 12 volt from the power supply, you plug it in. And on the front, there's a little dial, if I can remember. Right? And then you're turning, so it works on all the bands. So if I'm on 40 or Peter's on 40, he wants to sit on 40. So when somebody else on 20 on whatever mode, someone nearby, it helps to block it out. Doesn't mean it will block it 100%, but it will help. That's the reason John mentioned to be sure to bring some extra jumper cables. And you know what else? Whatever you got to bring is the right stuff, because nevertheless, something happens in the field or not in the field. Murphy is there or not, and there's something that needs to be done. Now let's talk about shelter and sun tan lotion. You're going to talk about shelter? You want to ask about shelter?
I was just gonna say, bring shelter.
Shelter.
Because you're going to need that. It gets
Absolutely.
cold at night. It gets hot in the daytime.
Yeah, hot in the day, could be cool at night. Bring layers. Yes, a hat or something. That's what Peter says. If you have your name badge, that's always good. Won't shelter you, but it's important to bring the layers. It hasn't been super hot yet in Reno. It's been maybe low 80s. You can get sunburn at all sorts of. So bring that. You might want to bring some bug spray, and then whatever you need. If you have a certain, like I'm a gluten-free, so if it's diet, so you have a certain diet, be sure to bring that or put it on here. So think of it as if you're going to go on a camping trip, even if you just came for part of the day, what would you bring? Our friend here, Kurt, will be there, sort of the host of the host. So he's there to help check people in, and it's a lot of. So does that answer the shelter piece? Yeah. Speaking of shelter, last year our friend Derek, yes, you Derek, was doing CW, but I don't think was sheltered. And so having something helps. I think you had an umbrella sometimes.
I have a shelter that I can bring.
Good.
Also, going out, I got the awning fixed.
The awning. Those things help because the sun's moving around, right? We have one more here. Go ahead, Chuck.
Something that I would highly recommend if you're going to make field day or outside operating a thing, go on Amazon. They make little tents to put your laptop in so that you can see the screen no matter what the sun's doing. They're not expensive, but really it's something that you should buy for yourself, not the club shouldn't buy them or provide. They're not expensive, and they're like, I think they're called construction laptop shelter, and it looks like a little mini tent. You just pop the thing out, stick your laptop.
They're really great. Our late friend John Miller had one. I was with him last year at one of the events, the Aries events, and it was the coolest thing that I've ever seen. It really is a dinky little tent. It's enough to hold the laptop and a little cover. And the one he had was all dark and black inside and kind of shiny silvery on the outside to keep the sun off. And you can see it. How many times have somebody raise a hand? How many times have somebody been in the field you know, with your laptop and you just can't see it, you know? So it happens all the time. So that's a great idea. And could you show can you hold up your big hat again, Roz? That's a really cool thing. You know, I wear a baseball cap, but I tend to get sunburn on my ears. So, you know, bring whatever you think you bring. Again, it's the beginning of summer. It could be really nice. It could be really hot. We don't know. And how many weeks away is it? 3 weeks from today, am I right? 3 weeks from today. Okay, do we have any questions on Zoom? Go ahead and put it in chat. What time is the lunch? Let me ask you this. What time at noon would you like to go? Plan for noon. Am I correct, John? Barley, you sous vide cook it and then you put it on a barbecue to sort of grill it. So really, really good. Okay, so we're gonna add just a reminder of those that are in person. If you'd like to come up with a 50-50 raffle, we're gonna do that. And he also has some frequency cards. And thank you for being here today. We hope to see you at Field Day. This completes the June meeting and presentation 73, and see you all at Field Day.
It's right there.
It does.
I seem to have been late the last few days.
Thank you.
Terrible.